Having the opportunity to be a part of EDUC-1016 has allowed me many insightful learnings. It is well known that the history of education has not been a smooth journey, although influences and possibilities have only widened, and thankfully will continue to expand based off of current trends. From the beginning, it was made clear that future educators must have the ability to adapt to the constantly changing times. No more can teachers data dump or drill and kill. Instead, it is important to be what some refer to as a thermostat, where teachers match the energy they want to receive from their students. This is crucial, as the image of the teacher is one that will greatly impact students for years to come. Additionally, it is important, as a future educator, to recognize and understand the day-to-day roles of the teacher. This will allow these many roles to be made easier through varied teaching and learning styles, some of which that will allow students to focus on their topics of interest, thus giving them more independence. By combining the pedagogical approaches, including constructive, reflective, collaborative, integrative, and inquiry-based approach, both the role of the teacher and the student's knowledge becomes advanced. As well, it is important to recognize multiple intelligences, like logical, mathematical, linguistic, musical, spatial, kinesthetic, naturalist, interpersonal, and intrapersonal, in order to capitalize on each student's learning abilities. Once recognizing the student's strengths, differentiated instruction can allow for the progression of increased success to occur. With this kind of support and encouragement, the image of the child can be seen as rich, powerful, and ready to learn. Although I believe that it is as early childhood education when these practices must play out, as it allows a spark in their development, preparing them for their futures through every transition made. Unfortunately, education is still far from perfect. There are many gaps between Indigenous and non-Indigenous learners, as despite the increasing amount of Indigenous courses in schools, there are many school boards who do not offer Indigenous education activities at all. These defects in the education system allow for stereotypes to fall unnoticed into everyday life, a main one being one does not need Indigenous studies if they are not Indigenous themselves. Some teachers even believe that the reason they do not need to provide Indigenous courses is due to the limited amount of Indigenous students in their classes, demonstrating that they don't feel an importance to recognize these people. Luckily, policies have been put into place to allow individuals to expand their knowledge and understand the importance of Indigenous education, further providing Indigenous resources and supports in order to recognize their approaches to teaching, including intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and physical. Incorporating diverse subjects into the classroom not only allows for balance and wellness, but allows students to explore serious topics like privilege, mental health, gender and sexuality, and more in a safe environment. It is important as the teachers to recognize and acknowledge these topics themselves in a respectful manner while understanding the impacts the students may be faced with, as despite being one of the most accepting generations, there are still many groups faced with discrimination. For example, the BIPOC community. Fortunately, 21st century learning has allowed for technology to help advance learning environments and support teachers who are focusing on difficult subjects, especially when they feel they are not completely educated on them. Social media and educational websites have allowed students and educators alike to expand on environmental education. These same technological advances have assisted ESL, ELL, and ELD learners to have an equal opportunity to excel. The Ontario school system is one of the most advanced school systems to provide such opportunities and incorporate so many diverse teachings into the curriculum, and continues to advance due to the key players like the ministry and strategies used like care, integrity, trust, and respect. Another key factor as to why Ontario's school boards are becoming increasingly advanced is due to the requirements and experiences growing in educators' professional portfolios. These teachers are able to recognize important skills that they will bring into the classroom and find ways to expand their knowledge, allowing for the opportunity to have diverse, qualified candidates who strive to better the lives of their students through the time period they are given to work with them. Overall, from the commitment to students and their learning, the leadership in learning communities, and the ongoing professional learning, knowledge, and practices, teachers have many responsibilities, both those that are visible to the public and those that go unnoticed. Thanks to the EDUC-1016 course, I have been able to get a better understanding on the Ontario school system, which has only increased my drive to become a teacher and impact future generations.